Ladies and godmen asking God for more while holding on to less. But promise demands movement. It demands you step out of the boat, out of the box, out of the place where you've been too long. Look at Abraham. He had to leave his country. Look at Moses. He had to leave Egypt. Look at Ruth. She had to leave Moab. Look at you. What are you still holding on to? Sometimes God will make your normal so uncomfortable, you've got no choice but to move. He'll dry up the brook, shake the nest, close the door, because he's not punishing you. He's positioning you. He's positioning you. God never calls you out of something unless he's calling you into something greater. But the greater can't come until you let go. You can't stay in the boat and walk on water. You can't stay in the grave clothes and live again. You can't cling to Egypt and reach Canaan. I know you're scared. I know you've got questions. I know you're tired of being disappointed. But this next move is not about your comfort. It's about your calling. And there is a promise hanging over your life. A promise that eyes haven't seen, ears haven't heard, and hearts can't even imagine. This is the season where God is calling you out of the shallow and into the deep, out of survival and into significance, out of cycles and into covenant, out of being busy and into being birthed. You've circled that mountain long enough. You've stayed behind that wall too long. You've been quiet about your dream long enough. The normal cannot contain the new. So I came to declare it's time to step out. Step out of your old thinking. Step out of toxic relationships. Step out of fear. Step out of excuses. Step out of excuses. Step out of small places. Step out of systems that no longer serve your future. And when you step out, the promise will meet you. When Peter stepped out, the water held him. When the lepers stepped out, they were healed on the way. When the woman stepped out, she touched the hem and was made whole. There comes a time in life when you have to stop and ask yourself, is this all there is? You wake up, you go through your routine, you smile when you're supposed to. You try not to complain too much. You do your best to stay in line and stay quiet. But deep down, something in you feels off. Something in you knows there's more. Not more money, not just more stuff, but more purpose, more joy, more meaning. And yet, every time you try to step toward it, something holds you back. It's the voice that says, just stay where you are. Don't risk it. Don't mess things up. At least you're comfortable. At least you're safe. That voice is the voice of normal. Normal tells you to settle. Normal tells you to shrink. Normal tells you to stay in the place where people expect you to be, even if that place is slowly killing your spirit. But I want you to understand something today. Normal is not your destiny. It's your trap. Normal is the lie that tells you you'll never be more than what you've been. Normal is the weight that keeps you from climbing. Normal is the ceiling that blocks the sky from your eyes. Normal is what people cling to when they're afraid of the unknown, and it's sneaky too. It doesn't show up with horns and flashing lights. No, normal wears a friendly face. It disguises itself as wisdom. It pretends to be security. It whispers in your ear, this is good enough. Don't be ungrateful. Don't get too big for your own good. But underneath that voice is fear. Fear of failure. Fear of rejection. Fear of starting over. And if you listen to that fear long enough, you'll start building your life around it. You'll decorate your prison and call it peace. You'll call it maturity. You'll call it maturity. You'll tell yourself, I'm just being realistic. But here's the truth. Being realistic without faith is just another way of giving up. Because what's really happening is this. You've been called to more, but you've been conditioned to settle. You've been wired for greatness, but trained to survive. You've been filled with dreams, but surrounded by voices that tell you to tone it down. And I get it. I really do. Sometimes life hits you so hard, you just want to feel something stable. You don't want to take any more chances. You've been disappointed. You've been let down. Oh, you've been told a no so many times that you started to believe maybe they were right. So you stay in the job that drains you. You stay in the friendship that no longer feeds your spirit. You stay in the pattern that's familiar, even if it's harmful. You stay in the shadow of who you used to be, even when God is calling you into something new. But staying where it's safe can become a slow death. Because your soul wasn't created for stillness. Your calling wasn't designed to sit on a shelf. You were meant to stretch. You were meant to stretch. You were meant to grow. You were meant to rise, and that's why normal will never satisfy you. You might be able to fake it for a little while. You might convince yourself it's fine. But sooner or later, that ache in your chest will rise again. The frustration will show up in ways you can't explain. The tears will come late at night when no one is watching. The questions will get louder, and the more you ignore them, the heavier they become. Because deep down, you know you were made for something more. You were made for a life that speaks, a life that breathes, a life that breathes. A life that shakes the dust off and walks toward purpose with power. But to get there, you have to make a decision. You have to decide that comfort is no longer enough. You have to decide that playing it safe is more dangerous than taking a risk. You have to decide that the fear of regret is stronger than the fear of failure. You might lose some things when you walk away from normal. You might lose some people too. Not everyone will understand your growth. Not everyone will support your shift. Some will say you've changed, and you have. And that's a good thing, because change is a sign that you're alive. You'll never reach the promise God has for you by staying stuck in the pattern that the world has set for you. The promise requires a step, a stretch, a leap, and yes, it might be scary. But staying where you don't belong is even scarier. Some of you have been called to write, but normal told you, no one will read it. Some of you have been called to speak, but normal said, you're not qualified. Some of you have been called to build, to lead, to create, to heal, but normal wrapped itself around your life like a blanket and rocked you to sleep. There are some things in life that will not change until you move. Some blessings won't show up until you take the first step. Some doors won't open until you walk toward them. Some answers from God won't come while you're sitting still. Because the promise that God made to you is not just something you wait for. It's something you walk into. You can pray all day. You can cry all night. You can talk about it to everyone around you. But at some point, God waits for you to move. Faith without action is like a seed in a drawer. It may have the power to grow, but it never will until you plant it. And planting takes movement. It takes effort. It takes trust. God gave you the vision. He gave you the word. He gave you the confirmation. But now it's your turn to respond. If you look through the Bible, you'll see that every time God made a promise, it required a step. When he promised Abraham a land, Abraham had to leave his country. When he promised Moses freedom for the Israelites, Moses had to go back to Egypt. When he promised Peter a miracle, Peter had to get out of the boat. And when Jesus told the man with the withered hand to be healed, he said, "Stretch out your hand." The healing came, but it came after the movement. God is not in the business of handing out promises while we stay stuck in the same place. That's not how he works. He calls us to walk by faith, not just sit by faith. He calls us to trust him enough to step into the unknown. Sometimes the reason we haven't seen the promise yet is not because God is late, but because we haven't moved. We're waiting for God, but God is waiting for us. I've already opened the door. I just need you to move your feet. But movement is hard. Movement means you have to let go of control. It means you might have to leave people behind. It means you'll have to do it scared. It means you might look foolish. But movement is where the miracle happens. There are people who will sit on a word from God for years because they're too afraid to move. They want every detail, every answer, every assurance. But if you have all the answers, it's not faith. If the road is fully mapped out, it's not trust. God doesn't always show you the whole picture. Sometimes he just shows you the next step. When the Israelites stood before the Red Sea, God didn't part the waters until they moved forward. When the priests carried the ark into the Jordan River, the waters didn't stop flowing until their feet touched the water. The promise was already made, but the power showed up after the step. Some of you are standing on the edge of something great, but you're frozen by fear. You've been praying for a breakthrough, but God is saying, take the step. You've been crying for direction, but the direction will come while you're walking. You're waiting on the big picture, but God is giving you one piece at a time. Sometimes God hides the next door until you walk through the first one. He doesn't always tell you how long the journey will be. He doesn't always tell you how it's going to end, but he promises to be with you while you move. And if he's with you, you're not moving alone. You're not stepping out into nothing. You're stepping out into his presence. The enemy will try to make you believe that staying still is safer. He'll tell you it's wise to wait, that it's smart to keep things the way they are. But stillness can become a trap. You weren't made to stand in the same place forever. You were made to grow, to stretch, to move into the things God has spoken over your life. Movement doesn't always mean something dramatic. It could be as simple as making a phone call, signing up for the class, Writing the first page, asking the question, saying yes to the opportunity, starting the business plan, praying differently, serving in a new way. Loving someone even when it hurts, forgiving someone even when they don't deserve it. All of these are movements, and every small step brings you closer to the promise. You may not feel ready, you may not feel strong enough, but God never asked you to have it all figured out. He just asked you to move. He already knows your weaknesses. He already sees your fear, and he's still calling you to move anyway. The beautiful thing is this: when you move, God moves with you. When you step, he strengthens. When you trust, he provides. When you let go, he catches you. The promise is not just about where you're going. It's about who you're becoming as you go. Some of you are waiting for a sign, and this is it. This is the moment where you stop rehearsing the plan and start walking it out. Start walking it out. This is the moment where you stop second-guessing yourself and start moving toward what God already said is yours. This is the moment where you shake the dust off your feet, leave fear behind, and walk like the... There are moments in life when everything seems to fall apart without warning. The job ends. The relationship breaks. The plan fails. The comfort disappears. And you're left wondering what went wrong. You ask questions like, why now? Why this? Why me? You try to understand what happened. You replay every detail. You search for peace, but instead you feel confused, shaken, and tired. It feels like your life was going one way and suddenly took a sharp turn. You were doing everything right. You were being faithful. You were trying your best. But somehow, everything changed. The normal that you were used to is gone. Oh, but maybe that's not a bad thing. Maybe God didn't forget you. Maybe he's not punishing you. Maybe he's disturbing your normal to awaken your purpose. Because sometimes what feels like trouble is actually a turning point. What feels like disruption is actually divine direction. What feels like pain is really preparation. God is not afraid to interrupt your plans if it means getting you to your purpose. He will shake the ground beneath your feet to wake up what's been sleeping inside you. He will close doors you didn't have the strength to close. He will move people out of your life who were holding you back. He will let things get uncomfortable, not to harm you, but to push you. You see, we don't usually grow when things are easy. We grow when things shift. We grow when we're forced to dig deeper, think bigger, and walk by faith. We grow when we're no longer able to lean on what we used to rely on. When the routine no longer works. When the usual support system is no longer there. That's when we discover who we really are. That's when we hear God the clearest. That's when we finally stop playing small and start stepping into the person we were created to be. God is not interested in keeping you comfortable. He's interested in calling you higher. Think about Moses. He was living a quiet life in the desert, tending sheep, minding his business. That was his normal. But then one day, he saw a burning bush. That bush didn't burn up, and it caught his attention. It disturbed his day. It interrupted his routine. But in that moment, God spoke. In that moment, purpose was awakened. God said, I have called you to deliver my people. Moses didn't go looking for purpose. Purpose came looking for him, but it came through disruption. Think about Joseph. His normal life was being his father's favorite son, wearing a special coat, dreaming big dreams. But then one day, his brothers threw him in a pit. He was sold into slavery, lied on, thrown into prison. Everything that was normal in his life was taken from him, but all of it was part of God's plan, because God was taking him from the pit to the palace. Joseph had to lose normal in order to gain purpose. And maybe you're in the middle of something that doesn't make sense. Maybe things have shifted in your life. Maybe you're standing in the middle of broken pieces, wondering how it will ever come together again. Let me tell you something. God is still in control. He sees the end from the beginning. And when he allows your normal to be shaken, he always has a reason. He doesn't waste pain. He doesn't allow heartbreak for nothing. There is purpose rising from the ashes. There is something greater being born from the mess. Sometimes we hold on so tightly to what's familiar that we miss what's next. We think normal is safe, but sometimes normal is just a hiding place. A place where we don't have to take risks. A place where we don't have to face truth. A place where we can blend in, stay small, and avoid the calling that scares us. But God loves you too much to let you stay hidden. He sees what you can become. He sees the calling on your life. He knows the people you are meant to help. He knows the dreams buried inside your heart, and he's willing to disturb your normal to get you to your next. It might not feel good while it's happening. It might feel like you're being torn apart, but God is not breaking you down to destroy you. He's breaking you open to release you. There are gifts inside of you that have been asleep for too long. There are ideas you've been too afraid to try. There are dreams you've been too tired to chase. There is strength in you that only pressure can bring out. So if your life has been shaken lately, if your normal has been disturbed, don't panic. Don't give up. Don't run back to what's safe. You need faith when the money runs low, when the people walk away, when the doors close. You need faith when you're tired of trying and weary from waiting. You need faith when nothing makes sense, but you still believe that God is good. The truth is, if everything in your life makes sense right now, if everything is predictable, if everything is under your control, you may not be walking by faith. You may be walking by comfort. And God didn't call you to live a comfortable life. He called you to live a faithful one. Oh. It stretches you, it tests you. It pulls you out of your small place and it introduces you to a bigger God. It makes you let go of your timing, your logic, your fears, and your plans. Faith teaches you how to walk blind and believe that you're still being led. It teaches you how to move in silence, how to trust in storms, and how to wait when it feels like nothing is happening. Sometimes God will allow the comfortable things to break so the greater things can begin. He will disturb your peace to reveal his promise. He will strip away what you thought you needed so you can lean fully on him. Not because he wants to hurt you, but because he wants to grow you. He wants to show you who he is and who you are in him. You may feel like you're in the middle of something right now that's uncomfortable. Maybe things aren't going how you planned. Maybe you're walking through a season of uncertainty. Maybe you feel stretched, challenged, or even afraid. Don't run from that place. That's where faith begins. That's the place where miracles happen. That's the place where you discover the strength you didn't know you had and the God who never leaves you. You don't have to have it all figured out. You just have to trust. You don't need to see the whole picture. You just need to take the next step. You don't need a guarantee. You just need to believe that God is with you and that he is faithful to finish what he started. God is not looking for perfection. He's looking for trust. He's not asking you to do it all on your own. He's asking you to let him lead. He's not expecting you to walk this road without fear. He's just asking you to move forward even when fear is in your way. So if comfort is ending in your life, don't panic. That means faith is beginning. That means God is getting ready to do something new. That means the time has come to stop playing it safe and start walking by faith. It won't always be easy. It won't always feel good, but it will be worth it. Because what's waiting for you on the other side of comfort is greater than anything you're leaving behind. You were made for more than a safe life. You were made for a strong life. A life full of faith, full of courage, full of power. A life that walks with God through valleys and mountaintops. A life that trusts him in the unknown and follows him through the storm. A life that shines even in the dark. There is something powerful about a step. A single step may not seem like much. It may look small. It may feel ordinary, but in God's hands, a simple step becomes a doorway to destiny. A step may not shake the earth, but it moves heaven. A step may not make the news, but it makes history in the life of someone who has the courage to take it. Risky? Too often, we wait for everything to be perfect before we move. We wait for all the answers. We wait for the fear to leave. We wait until we feel ready, strong, qualified. But God doesn't need you to be perfect. He just needs you to move, because there is power in the step. The woman with the issue of blood took a step. She had been sick for 12 long years. She had spent all her money. She had gone to every doctor. She had every reason to give up, but she heard that Jesus was passing by. And she said to herself, if I can just touch the hem of his garment, I will be healed. So she got up. She stepped through the crowd. She pressed her way forward. And in that one step, she received her healing. Blind Bartimaeus took a step. He was sitting by the roadside, begging, broken, forgotten. But when he heard that Jesus was near, he began to cry out. The people told him to be quiet, but he cried louder. Then Jesus called him. And the Bible says Bartimaeus threw off his cloak, jumped up, and came to Jesus. That step brought his sight back. The lepers took a step. 10 of them stood far away from Jesus, unclean, rejected, cast out. Jesus said, I'll go show yourselves to the priests. And they weren't healed right away. But as they went, they were made clean. As they stepped in obedience, the miracle met them on the road. All through Scripture, we see that God honors the step, not the talk, not the dream alone, not the wish, but the step, the movement, the obedience. That is where the power is. Maybe you've been praying for it, but the breakthrough is waiting on your step. Maybe you've been asking God for direction, but he's waiting for you to move on what he already told you. Maybe your miracle is not behind you or in front of you. It's under your feet waiting for you to take the first step. A step says, I trust you, Lord. A step says, I believe you even though I don't see the whole way. A step says, I'm not waiting for things to be easy. I'm moving in faith. A step may feel shaky, but it is full of strength. Because when you step in obedience, you are not stepping alone. God meets you in that movement. He walks with you. He goes before you. He holds you up. Sometimes we get stuck because we want God to move first. We say, hey, God, show me, then I'll go. But God says, I'll go and I will show you. We want the sea to part before we step, but sometimes the waters part when our feet touch the edge. Sometimes the provision shows up after we begin. Sometimes the strength comes once we say yes. Fear will try to keep you standing still. Fear will tell you, what if you fail? What if they laugh at you? What if it doesn't work? But faith whispers back, what if it does? Faith says, even if I fall, God will catch me. Even if it's hard, he will help me. Even if I'm scared, he will walk with me. Even if I'm scared, he will walk with me. The power is in the step, not in the comfort zone. Your step might not look like someone else's step. For you, a step might be forgiving someone who hurt you. It might be filling out the application, making the phone call, writing the first page, showing up at church, asking for help, speaking up, letting go, trying again. Whatever it is, don't underestimate it. Don't talk yourself out of it. Because small steps lead to great things. God doesn't need a leap. He just needs your step. And sometimes the first step is the hardest. But once you move, heaven moves with you. Heaven moves with you. Once you step, the atmosphere shifts. The chains start to break. The walls begin to fall. The fear starts to lose its grip. There's a strength that shows up that you didn't know you had. You may not feel ready, but take the step. You may not feel ready, but take the step. You may not feel brave, but take the step. You may still have questions, but take the step. Because what God has for you is not behind the wall of comfort. It's on the other side of courage. You don't have to do it all at once. Just take one step, and then another, and then another. Keep walking, keep moving, keep pressing. Because purpose is not found in staying still. It's found in going forward, even when the path is unclear. Every promise God has made to you is real. Every dream he placed inside you is possible. You won't find it by standing still. You won't see it by staying safe. You've got to move. You've got to trust. You've got to step. And the beautiful thing is, even if your step is small, God sees it. Even if you stumble, he holds you. Even if you're not sure, he is. Your step may not be perfect, but it is powerful because it's a sign of your faith. And God always honors faith. God always honors faith. So today, if you hear his voice, don't wait, don't delay, don't overthink it, just step. Step into your calling, step into your calling, step into your healing. Step into your freedom, step into your next season. Step into the unknown with the God who knows everything. There is more waiting for you, but you'll never see it until you step. There is power in the step. Not because of who you are, but because of who walks with you. Not because of what you know, but because of what God promised. Not because the road is easy, but because his grace is enough. Take the step. The power is already there. God has great plans for your life, but you will never walk into them without courage. Courage is what moves you forward when everything inside of you wants to turn back. Courage is what holds you steady when the ground feels shaky. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to keep going in spite of fear. It is the willingness to believe when everything says you should give up. There are people in the Bible who missed out on the fullness of God's promise. Not because God changed his mind, not because he wasn't faithful, but because they didn't have the courage to step forward. When Moses sent 12 spies to explore the promised land, 10 of them came back with fear in their hearts. They said the land was good, but the people were too strong, the cities too large, the challenge too big. Only 2 of them, Joshua and Caleb, had the courage to say, "Oh, we can take this land." God is with us. Because the people listened to fear instead of courage, they wandered in the wilderness for 40 years. The promise was right there, but it required courage to enter. How many times have we stood on the edge of something great but walked away because we were afraid? Afraid of failure, afraid of rejection, afraid of the unknown. We pray for open doors, but when they open, we peek in and back away. We ask for God to do the impossible, but when He calls us to step out, we freeze. We want the reward, but we are scared of the risk. And still, the promise waits. Not behind us, but ahead of us. Not where we are safe, but where we are brave. Your courage does not have to be loud. It doesn't have to look like confidence to everyone else. Sometimes courage is quiet. Sometimes it's just getting out of bed when life feels heavy. Sometimes it's having the hard conversation. Sometimes it's starting again after everything fell apart. Sometimes courage is standing in a room full of doubt and still choosing to believe. And in those small acts of courage, something powerful begins to happen. God meets you there. When you move with courage, you move with God. He doesn't leave you to figure it out on your own. He goes before you. He stands behind you. He walks beside you. He strengthens your heart and steadies your feet. But you won't know how strong He is until you step out. You won't know how faithful He is until you move in faith. You won't see the waters part until you start walking toward them. Look at David. He was just a young shepherd, overlooked and underestimated. But when the giant Goliath came out to taunt Israel, everyone else ran in fear. David didn't have experience, he didn't have armor, but he had courage. He said, "The same God who delivered me from the lion and the bear will deliver me from this giant." And with a slingshot and a stone, David stepped out, and the giant fell. The promise wasn't in the weapon, it was in the courage to use it. The same God who stood with David stands with you. The same power that backed Moses, Esther, Ruth, Paul, that same power is with you. But you must have courage to walk forward. You must have courage to face the thing, 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 to face the thing that's scared, 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 to face the thing that scares, 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 to face the thing that scares you, 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 to face the thing that scares scares you, to face the thing that 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 scares you. You must have courage to trust God even when the path isn't clear. Your promise might require you to leave something behind. It might require you to let go of what is comfortable. It might ask you to forgive, to wait, to risk, to love again. Courage will be your bridge from where you are to where God is calling you. Courage is the language of the next level. And if you are feeling stretched right now, it may be because your promise is calling your courage to come forward. Don't wait until you feel brave. Bravery doesn't always come before the battle. It often shows up in the middle of it. Don't wait until the fear is gone. Sometimes the fear stays, but faith moves anyway. Don't talk yourself out of what God already told you is yours. Don't let the voices of doubt be louder than the voice of truth inside of you. God has already declared the promise, but it is your courage that must reach for it. The enemy knows that he can't stop God's promise, so he tries to stop your courage. He fills your mind with lies. He reminds you of every failure. He tells you that you are not enough, that you will never make it, that you should quit while you're ahead. But those are just distractions. The enemy is afraid of a person who refuses to back down. He trembles when he sees you step forward with shaking hands and a steady heart. What if the very thing you've been praying for is waiting on the other side of one bold decision? What if God has already lined up the right people, the open doors, the favor, the provision? But he's waiting for you to move with courage. Don't let fear talk you out of your future. Don't let insecurity keep you in the same place. Your promise is too big to miss. Oh! Your purpose is too important to abandon. Your story is not over. It's just waiting for your courage to turn the next page. You are stronger than you think. You are braver than you feel. You are not alone. God has brought you this far not to leave you, but to launch you. So stand up. Wipe your tears. Take a deep breath and walk into the promise. It may not be easy, but it will be worth it. Because your promise is still waiting, and all it needs now is your courage. My friend, this is not the season to play it safe. This is not the time to cling to comfort, to settle for average, or to hide behind fear. This is the moment to step. This is the hour to move. Everything God has for you is waiting just beyond the place you've been stuck in. The promise is real. The purpose is alive. But the normal must break before the new can begin. God didn't create you just survive. He created you to walk in promise, to live with bold faith, to rise in courage. But he will not force you. He will invite you. He will invite you. He will stir you. He will disrupt your normal, not to destroy you, but to awaken you. He will shake the ground beneath your feet, not to scare you, but to shift you into something greater. That restlessness you feel, that pressure, that stirring in your soul, that is God calling you out of the boat and onto the water, and on.